Here.
So I want to just start you off with a really silly question. Like, what is an airline executive doing coming to CES?
Well, that's a great question, Gary. And first of all, we are honored to be at CES, so thank you for this invitation. But you do ask a great question. Why is an airline here delivering the opening keynote at CES? And to answer that question, you have to look back more than a century when technological innovation brought the life-changing magic of powered flight to our world. And we're here today because we still think that the gift of flight is the ultimate innovation. It allows people to connect across vast distances. It opens up opportunities that simply aren't possible without a human connection. And it brings the world closer at a time we need to be closer more than ever before. And we know there isn't a silver bullet to creating great airline experiences, but what we do know is that humanity is a great North Star. We've had to build the tools and the consumer trust to take us where we want to go. In the past 5 years, we've invested billions to turn Delta's technology from what had been a vulnerability to an award-winning digital advantage. And what has that done? It has given us tools like real-time bag tracking, biometrics for faster boarding and shorter lines. And we get a lot of fresh ideas through partnerships with entrepreneurs and with startups. You're going to be seeing some of that today. We're working with startups who are pushing the envelope, like CarePod, where they're working to carry and monitor our pets safely and humanely from gate to gate. Exploring a new way to keep airplane cabins clean with a startup called Vital Vio. They make antimicrobial lights that safely and constantly sanitize surfaces without impacting people. And now here's another cool idea that we're implementing. We're recycling plastic waste into the blankets that we have on board every year. The opportunity for our innovations to have meaningful impact is tremendous. Here's an interesting fact. We engage with 600,000 customers every 15 minutes. That's the population of Vancouver every hour. So when we envision what the future of air travel looks like, we have to think big, start small, and then scale very fast. We're proud that we've become the most reliable airline on the planet. We've canceled cancellations. We've eliminated involuntary bumping. We've created the most effective baggage handling system on the planet. But we're not satisfied with meeting those basic expectations. Oh no. We want to exceed them. And that's what sets Delta apart. A great example is the security line. The amount of time that you spend in that line has a big impact on your travel experience. And that's why we decided to partner with TSA, Clear, and Customs. In fact, we're an early investor in Clear to make wait times shorter and more predictable. We've made a lot of progress using everything from biometric technology to computed tomography scanners. These tools help create a smoother, less stressful experience, even on the most difficult travel days. We want to eliminate those pain points because they're not only stressful for you, but for our employees as well.
Employees actually share in those stressful moments along the customer's journey. For example, while customers are worried if there'll be enough overhead backspace, our agents are working feverishly to help them, all the while remaining focused on ensuring we get the flight out safely and on time. We've done a lot of research to identify stressful travel moments for customers and employees. We asked our customers to wear Fitbits and to video record their journey so that we could see the issues that they faced at every point. Now, I have to be honest, all of it wasn't pretty. But we listened and we learned. And here's what we confirmed. Not surprisingly, customers and employees reach their highest stress levels during irregular operations, like when weather causes a delay or even that rare cancellation. We learned that there's a lot of stress that occurs before you even get to the airport. You have so many things to manage that seem out of your control, like traffic patterns or parking. Understandably, we saw that navigating security checkpoints, boarding with carry-on bags, and unexpected turbulence are all stressful moments. And then there's the stress of simply being away from home. But in this research, we also validated something we always suspected to be true. When customers have a warm and engaging interaction with our people, they are less stressed and they enjoy their travels more. And so this is why we've invested in empowering our people on the ground and in the air with digital tools, tools to help them deliver a better experience for our customers. Agents and flight attendants now have handheld devices that will allow them to recognize a SkyMiles membership milestone or take care of that special request that will make your trip a little easier. And our pilots now have an app that allows them to view any upcoming turbulence so that they can give customers and crew members a heads up. Because we've realized that being informed ahead of time really reduces the anxiety associated with that issue. So these are just some of the great examples of how we can combine the power of technology with the human touch of the Delta people to reduce stress and transform the experience.
The stress of traveling starts before you even leave home. How can an airline help alleviate it? Think about your trip to Vegas this week and everything that you had to do before you left. If you're like me, you checked the traffic, you looked up the security wait times, confirmed your terminal information, and then had to decide whether to rideshare, take public transit, or drive yourself. Wouldn't it be awesome to have one of our famed Delta Redcoats at your side, solving those problems for you? Well, since that's not possible, what's the next best thing? We think it's the Fly Delta app. It's already a top-rated travel app, and we know when customers use it, their satisfaction increases by double digits. But our ambition is to do even more. We have a bold vision for the Fly Delta app to evolve into your digital travel concierge, a platform for the brands and the services that you use throughout your journey. It'll make your trip more relaxing, less stressful, and more enjoyable. Imagine walking through the plane, choosing your seats with augmented reality, or receiving a customized report from Delta's own meteorologist who give you advance notice of how weather may affect your travel, letting you solve any problems before they get to a critical stage. Today, you can track your bags in real time on the app. I know I always feel relieved when I get that push notification that my bag is on board with me. But you should also be able to track everything from pets to a child traveling alone. And just imagine this scenario. What if, instead of taking your bags with you to the airport, they were picked up at your home and transported directly to your hotel? That means no waiting in the bag drop line, right? No worries about overhead bin space. No crowding around the carousel. You can go directly from the airport straight to your meeting. Or if it's a leisure trip, go and explore that new city. And because it's all trapped on the app, there's no stress about whether your bag has been lost. And you'll be able to pay for all of these options directly from the app. And what's really cool is that you'll be able to use your Delta SkyMiles as the currency to pay for everything, from your rideshare all the way to shopping at an airport store. So what do you see as the biggest opportunity as we work together to transform the Fly Delta app into a true digital concierge?
And what we're looking to do with Delta is remove as many of the stresses as possible from travel and actually bring much more joy to the experience. So a few things I'm specifically excited about. First, when you need to head to the airport and request a ride, we want to automatically take into consideration things like flight delays, bad weather, and traffic based on real-time data from Lyft and Delta. And when you're leaving the airport, Lyft now offers Fast Match. So instead of going to a hectic pickup area, you can use a unique security code to match with the next available driver that pulls up. And if you want to upgrade your ride, like a larger or more premium vehicle.
That's what I did.
Nice. We want to help you do that with Delta SkyMiles.
Well, the future of transportation is clearly multimodal, and that's why, for us, partnering with Lyft is helping us redefine what it means to be an airline. Another great example is a partnership that we've recently announced with Wheels Up. Wheels Up is taking the ride-sharing concept to the skies by extending it to private aviation. Together with Delta, they are building one of the largest platforms for private aviation in the country, both physically, with our combined fleet of nearly 200 private jets, and digitally, with their innovative crowdsourcing technology. Their approach is truly democratizing private air travel. And at Delta, we have invested in Wheels Up to help them realize their vision of making private air travel accessible, more affordable, and more efficient. Now, let's continue our journey by taking a fresh look at something that's essential to travel that you all know really well: airplanes and airports. We at Delta have focused much of our energy and our investment dollars on new, state-of-the-art jets. In fact, by the end of this year, we will have replaced a full 1/3 of our mainline fleet in just the last 5 years. These aircraft are far more efficient, reducing emissions by 25%, and they take your experience to a whole new level. This year alone, we're taking 80 new planes into our fleet, replacing older, less efficient jets. International wide-bodies like the Airbus 350 and the Airbus 330-900neo are loaded with new technology. And these planes have a range of cabins to provide a great experience at all price points. Our main cabin seats, I have to say, are among the most comfortable in the sky. And our award-winning Delta One suites, which 2 lucky winners are going to experience here real soon, have sliding doors for privacy and provide the ultimate travel experience for those long international journeys. And if you've recently flown from Detroit to Dallas, or New York to Houston, for example, you've been on our brand new Airbus 220. It's a narrow-body plane that's designed to feel like a wide-body jet, with spatial design and the latest technology in every seat, and even has windows in the bathroom. We're proud to have been the North American launch partner for the 220, and you'll be seeing many more of these amazing aircraft in our fleet over the next few years. So we're investing billions of dollars in airport infrastructure. And any of you that have traveled recently through Los Angeles, Seattle, Salt Lake City, Atlanta, Minneapolis, or New York are starting to see these investments come to life. We are reshaping and redefining the airport experience, bringing the amenities that you want to the terminals and gate areas where you can enjoy them. It's another way we're continuing to make travel easier, less stressful, and I dare say it, enjoyable. Personalized signage is coming to an airport very soon, near you, thanks to the wonder of parallel reality.
Imagine an international airport terminal completely personalized for you. Imagine walking up to a giant flight board, and instead of a list of 100 flights, you see only your own flight information, and in big letters so you can see it from 50 feet away. All of the signs are in your preferred language. Arrows light your path towards your gate, and the signs for your gate are flashing so you can spot them easily. Another screen lets you know you have an extra 15 minutes and directs you to the nearest coffee shop. At the gate, you see the exact time you board and the news that you got upgraded. So the entire airport environment is tailored just for you. Now, that would be easy if you were the only person at the airport, but we all know that's not the case. You'll need a new game-changing technology for a shared environment to be customized to every person. That's why we at Misapplied Sciences created Parallel Reality. Parallel Reality is a new display technology where many people looking at the same display at the same time can each see different things. So when you look at the display, you see content tailored for you, while the person walking right next to you simultaneously sees content tailored for them, without a hint that the two of you are seeing different things. You're not wearing any special glasses or looking through a smartphone camera lens. You just look at the displays with your naked eyes. We have display technologies that work for crowds ranging from tens of people up to thousands of people, all looking at the same display at the same time and each seeing unique content.
We are excited to announce that Delta and Misapplied Sciences will bring the first ever commercial application of parallel reality by mid-year to the Detroit airport.
There's still a lot of work to be done before we entirely fix the boarding experience, but we have a new tool that we believe is a step in the right direction. Later this month, the Fly Delta app will start providing virtual queuing. Right now, the app sends you a notification when your flight is boarding. That's helpful, but only to a point. With virtual queuing, the app will alert you when it's time for your seat to board. That means there's no need to cluster at the gate. You know who you are out there. Waiting for your boarding group to be announced. You can stay comfortably seated or even enjoy a coffee at a nearby cafe until it's your time. If we can reduce stress and make things easier at the gate with virtual queuing, it makes you feel that much better when you get to your seat. You're seated and you're settled, and you're at that ah moment where you can enable your own kind of airplane mode. That means different things to everyone. For some, it's time to relax, maybe time to sleep. If you're me, it's probably time to work. We continue to install seatback entertainment screens on our planes, and we even turn them on before we leave the gate. You'll have a personal seatback screen on over 80% of our Delta planes, more than any other airline in the world, and we continue to install more every single day. Artists, directors, and studios are realizing that Delta flights are becoming a platform to reach new audiences with their films. We love the cause. We're a partner with Women in Film and Reframe through a $125,000 annual contribution that we make to support female and diverse voices. And this year, we're providing an additional $100,000 to that campaign. But even more important than that is we're creating the first Reframe channel on board our aircraft. And it's going to house a range of movies. It's going to house a range of movies and TV shows that have earned the Reframe stamp. And we have 600,000 customers traveling on Delta every single day. So the exposure for Reframe will be massive. We've made a lot of progress over the past few years to make our in-flight Wi-Fi faster and more reliable. But it's not yet to the level that our customers deserve. Where else do you pay for Wi-Fi other than on plane these days? Nothing. It should be free. We firmly believe that. And it's important to us. And it's important to us because our mission is connecting people. And that includes providing connections online and in the air. And speaking of connections, wouldn't it be great to use your own Bluetooth headphones on a Delta flight? Yes? Well, that's another technical challenge that we're making a lot of progress on, and we're hoping to solve real soon. Our leading source of innovation is our people. And that's why we're developing tools to help make their interactions with you less transactional and more meaningful, more human. Our people should not be spending their time taking tickets and scanning boarding passes. They're way too talented for that. It's the tools that we're building that are getting Delta people from out behind the counter so they can assist you, solve your problems in real time, and make your trip as smooth as possible. And new technology is also being developed in our operations center and in the cockpit, helping to ensure a smoother, more reliable trip, even in tough circumstances. And here's just a few examples. The Nomad handheld device lets Delta agents offer personalized and meaningful assistance to customers anywhere in the airport. There's no more need to line up at a counter. I mentioned earlier how we've canceled cancellations, but we still have to deal with weather variables like hurricanes or a nasty northeaster. And that's why the team in our operations and customer center is developing the industry's first machine learning platform to help ensure a smooth operation, even in extreme conditions. This system uses operational data to run scenarios and project future outcomes while simulating all the variables of running a global airline with more than 1,000 planes in the sky. It helps our decision makers quickly make the right call in real time. And in 2018, Delta announced a partnership with Sarcos to advance groundbreaking exoskeleton technology.
Imagine if we could turn our team members into superhumans, giving them superhuman strength, superhuman endurance, the ability to safely lift a lot of weight.
Delta's about safety. So to be able to be hands-on with this, it tells you how much they care about the employee.
But we've made it abundantly clear today that Delta's responsibilities and vision extends far beyond the flight to the entire journey. And by creating a seamless experience, we can help travelers look up and connect with the world around them while they travel. In 1990, Delta became the first U.S. airline to recycle cans and other onboard waste. We've recycled enough aluminum to equal the weight of 7 Airbus 350s. We're recycling oil and scrap metal at all of our maintenance bases. And we've recycled uniforms and life vests. Delta is leading our industry in eliminating single-use plastics on board our planes and at our airports. And some of those plastics are being recycled into the products you're sitting on today with your blankets. But our chief focus is jet fuel. It's the #1 contributor to our carbon footprint. Air travel on the whole contributes about 2.5% of the world's carbon emissions. And Delta has been working for years to reduce our emissions and the impact on the environment. Today, our total emissions are down 11% from where they were in 2005. And in 2012, Delta voluntarily capped our emission levels, which means that all growth beyond 2012, and we've grown 25% since then, has been carbon neutral. But these steps are good, but they're not nearly enough. Our goal is to cut total emissions in half by 2050. We've invested in a study to produce biofuels made from forest debris in the Pacific Northwest. And we recently entered a different contract to bring us 10 million gallons of renewable biofuels a year, as soon as that production facility is completed shortly. We were the first airline to offer customers the opportunity to join us and contribute to making their travel carbon neutral. Through offsets, we're putting investment behind initiatives that have lasting positive impact, not just on the environment, but also towards eradicating poverty. Talk about the state of poverty in the world today, and how does Global Citizen address it?
And so Global Citizen was born that year to build a lasting movement of citizens to take action to help end extreme poverty, tackle climate change, and achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Global Goal Live, the possible dream, is going to unite musicians, citizens, world leaders, the private sector, and philanthropists all this year to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. On September 26, 2020, humanity will come together during UN Climate Week to end extreme poverty and tackle climate change. We're going to host 6 simultaneous concerts around the world in 5 continents to achieve the possible dream.
Wow.
And we're working with the United Nations Deputy Secretary General on this goal. And we're so thrilled that yourself, Ed, and Delta, one of the first partners to sign on as co-chairs of this historic campaign.
One of the first steps with Global Citizens that we've made is to commit the Global Go Live campaign to be entirely carbon neutral through investments that address poverty and environmental sustainability. One project that we're working on together is creating the Great Green Wall. This project is building a forest that will cover the entire width of the continent of Africa, from one ocean to the other. And in addition to tackling climate change, the Great Green Wall will help provide food security and jobs for millions of people. So as communities are revitalized, it's also done in concert with and support of the natural environment, creating its own virtuous circle. I hope today has been valuable for you, and I hope you're inspired by the journey that we've shared. Honestly, 5 years ago, I never would have imagined that Delta would be here at CES, charting our path to the future and into the next century of flight. And I am truly humbled by the opportunity to share our passion and enthusiasm with you all.